Welcome to College MIS Matters, the podcast where we uncover the latest news, insights, and innovations shaping management information systems in further education colleges. Join us as we explore data-driven strategies, tackle key challenges, and share real-world stories to empower MIS professionals like you. Let's dive into today's episode. So welcome back to this week's exciting episode. We've got something very different for you today in College MIS Matters podcast. Again, with me today, we've got a wonderful, able, clever, intelligent Robin Wilson again. Hi, Robin.
Hello, Ben. Thanks for having me again. It's good to be here.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. So as usual, we always have two sections of our podcast, one about the news and the second part is part of your idea of helping everyone, all MIS professionals, with different tips, different ways of working efficiently, different way of using your systems differently, and things that you might know or you might not know on how to use certain things in your in your student record system. So that's what we're doing today. Today, Robin has got something very clever and different, which is about the destination progression in ProMonitor. It's created something really exciting and useful. So we believe you will learn something, and obviously you can contact Robin after this episode once you listen to this episode. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really going to be very educative, very informative as usual. And first, again, this week is about the RO6 return and the media claim. So I'm sure you're getting ready to get that data return sorted before 6 p.m. on Thursday, the 6th of February. And then your media claim, the data will be available on next Monday, the 10th, for you to start populating your data set. And with the deadline of Thursday, the 13th of February, deadline for submitting your media claim, which is more focused on adult skills fund. Something exciting, making sure you put the right forecast. Obviously, the government will look at ESFA, will look at what you are now and also your forecasted amount. So it does have an impact in your adult skills fund allocation. So by the way, I'm inside my car because my son is playing a match in Gloucester, which is about 45 minutes drive from my house. So we're doing a video recording today. And for those just listening, obviously you will notice any difference, but I'm actually in my car at the moment recording this episode because we are having a video recording as well. It will be on our YouTube channel. The link will be in the description of this episode, so you can also watch the video. But for now, audio will try as much as possible with the audio to be very descriptive. So if you just listening, you still have a good idea of what we're talking about. So I'll hand over to Robin now to get us started with this wonderful destination progression setup that he has done in ProMonitor. Thank you. Over to you, Robin. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Yes, so obviously, progression destination is a very important thing, and obviously, I know the ILR is the current priority possibly, but whilst your ILR is running through your MI system, that might be a good chance to listen to this podcast in the background, perhaps, or watch it whilst your files are processing. But yes, the obviously progression destination at this time of the year, I think it's quite timely because people start trying to think about that. And obviously, what's important is trying to retain learners and give, I suppose, also give learners the opportunity and find out what they want to do and ensure that everybody is being asked that question, so they don't automatically come to the end of their courses and then think, oh, what happens now, and then just leave. So you want to be sort of talking, talking to them, getting the curriculum staff to talk to the students and find out what's happening next, because the obviously the student population breaks down into the progressors, who are the people who are finishing one course, might be finishing one course in a certain subject, and then progressing on to the next level in that same subject, which could be level two to level three. It could be, or it could be the lower levels as well, and it could be level three onto a sort of level four or HE, level four plus, or an HE course. And then you've got the continuers, who are the people enrolled to obviously a 2 year course. We want to sort of really check that they are coming back to year two and that they know they're supposed to be coming back to year two as well.
Yeah,
Just in
but
case they forgot that bit.
yeah,
And
they
they go, oh, I
better
didn't know I
do.
had to come back again. Oh no, I
Yeah,
thought I finished,
actually,
you
actually
know.
talked about that. We've had a scenario in my place of work where there was a second year student and they had to contact the student like, oh, am I supposed to come in for August? So you never know. Student they do get mixed up sometimes. But yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, it's important to, I suppose, before they leave, or well, long before they leave, actually, because you need to start thinking about it, and also know that it's important that they try hard, because if they don't do well
Well,
now
yeah.
and really push themselves, they might not be able to
Yes.
progress in their chosen area. So
Mm.
they need to be. It's good to be reminding the students as well as the staff, really, that this is happening. So
Yeah.
you've
Do you
got the
know, do you know,
progressors.
do you know what time around what from your experience with so many colleges, around what time do they have that conversation about progression to the following year with the student? I know some colleges, like in one my college is around March, like before certain time. When do most people look at those progression, start thinking about it from
Yeah,
your
I would say
experience?
probably after half term, after the
Yes.
February half term, probably a good time to start thinking about it, and probably maybe trying to get it done before Easter.
Yes, that's the
And
before you
then
start.
when they come back after Easter, because then it's all about the exams and the
Yes,
coursework and everything. So in this window of time, I think between half term and probably Easter is a good time to get it
it's good time.
captured, and then the focus is then on that to as they come towards the last push to the end of term.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got so yeah, you've got the progressors, which are the people who are coming back on the either the next level. Well, yes, I suppose call those the progressors. They're progressing on to in the same area. You've got the continuers. They're coming back to the next year of a 2 year course.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously that's where you do either do the 1+1 model, or you do the 2 year
See a
model.
mod. That's right.
And you've
Yeah.
got the options there to say, and if somebody is sort of an older learner, you might need to put them on the 2 year start,
Exactly.
so that they don't become unfunded when you
Non-funded.
want them to come back on the second one, like the top-up
Yes.
course.
Yes.
And then you've got the returners. Oh, sorry, you've got the new starts, who are the new people coming into the college, but obviously they wouldn't factor into this. But obviously, when you're thinking about numbers
Mm-hmm.
and people progressing, you need to sort of allow for those numbers to be able to coexist with the returns.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously, if you're using up the on like onto the new year two, sorry, the new level three course from the level
Mm-hmm.
two course, if you fill it with progressors that are coming from the lower level, you've got no space for the new starts. So when you're
Exactly.
planning your curriculum, you need to sort of think about all these, so they're tranches of learners, aren't they? Is that what you call them?
I know. Yeah.
Different path, different types of learner who are going to come and to be as successful as possible, I suppose. But
Mm-hmm.
also, it's not just about bringing the funding in. It is also, why we're here. It's about getting the achievements and getting the students every opportunity to keep on progressing to the higher levels
Mm-hmm.
if they're able to, and if they want to, and trying to encourage them to do that. So you need to be
Mm-hmm.
aware of all these different types of students. And you've also got then the returners, which are those the returners are probably the people who are going to be going potentially onto potentially something different.
Yep.
Or they may have done a part-time course. They may want to come back and do another part-time course. But again, I think the progression destination system is mainly capturing the progressors and the continuers to say, are the progressors coming back? But then also it can be used more generally if it's a progression and destination process to collect the destinations of the people, intended destinations,
Yes.
so that because obviously it couldn't be the actual destination at this point because they haven't
No.
said they're still here.
No. Yeah.
But it's so. But I think again for Ofsted, again it's a good indicator for that, because
Yes.
it's all
Exactly.
about the learner journey and about
It is.
starting at the beginning supporting them through their aspirations and
Exactly.
tracking their progress through that and ensuring that they're aware of what they're doing and the staff are aware of what they're doing to best
Hmm.
support them in that.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'll now move to show you what I've built in ProMonitor because again, you can build systems various ways. You could build something that was completely ad hoc, built by the developers within the colleges,
Hmm.
or you can use a system that the staff are already using, such as ProMonitor, where
Hmm.
they understand ProMonitor, and it kind of does can do most of the job. But then if you add a bit more to it, actually it does the entire task within ProMonitor. So instead of them having to go to a completely separate system, search for the learner again, or maybe there's a hyperlink off to take them there, but they've got to get used to another system and then use that system to input the data when they're already probably mostly in ProMonitor because thinking about curriculum stuff, they're marking their registers in. I mean, obviously not everybody uses ProMonitor. I realise
Hmm.
that, and obviously if you don't, then this wouldn't work for you.
No, no, but
But
but but but but no, but what other colleges do is they use systems like EBS, the tribal EBS, as a main primary source of data, and then they use ProMonitor for the ILP for the learning plan for all the monitoring of the learners get their activities, their performance. No, so then you have the link from your EBS system to ProMonitor. So then the ProMonitor becomes where you monitor each learner, which will include the destination and progression. So this will still apply in a sense because it's just what did you have EBS automatically backing up the data or a live link to ProMonitor. So that means so this could also be used by colleges that is not ProMonitor as long as there's a link with the main data source, isn't it?
yeah, that's right. So as long as you're using ProMonitor, you may have EBS, you may have Unity, you may have Pro Solution,
Yeah.
other MI systems that are available. So as long as, but I mean, if you're not using ProMonitor at all, I suppose you could build
Yes.
something similar in because I think there's like Student Advantage, isn't there, which people could use if they had Unity instead of ProMonitor potentially. But I mean,
Mhm.
ProMonitor is the most, as far as I understand it, the most popular ILP system, so used
That's
by
right.
a lot of the colleges. So
Yes.
shall I share my screen and go over what
Yes.
I've put together then?
Yes, please.
Just let me do that. So if I share that screen, I've only got one USB port, so I have to use the touchpad. Right, okay, so hope can you see the
Yes.
screen
Yes.
now?
Loud.
So
Yes. Very clear.
okay, that's good. So this is the test Robin. As you can see, there's a Robin there. So so this is the a test student, obviously, because rather than showing, I'm not showing any real data here.
Mhm.
And then under the learner ILP section, you'll have a progression and destination screen. I think it's called because actually, if you go to the page, look at the top, it's called After My Course. I think the default name of this page is called After My
After
Course
my
because it is
course.
about destination progression, but that's not a very catchy title. So,
So they change
and
it.
because what it is progression destination. So I renamed it to progression destination.
So that
Um,
page is that an inbuilt page
this is
in
an inbuilt
ProMonitor?
page. So
Okay, okay.
in the default configuration of ProMonitor, I believe it's called After My Course, and you can see at the top the web page address is After My Course. Because if you rename your pages in ProMonitor, the actual web address of the page stays the
Mhm.
same. So I think it's called After My Course by default. But yeah, if you go into the configuration, you can see the pages there, and this is one of the standard pages. And to achieve this, I haven't done any. I haven't altered the advanced coding at all in any way. Um, I'll explain what I've done, but I'll show you it first. So this is using the ProMonitor platform as it is. Out of the box using their customization abilities, but then a little bit of customization on top of that. So if I show you the page first, so what building on what I did last year for this college, it was kind of useful to have a way of locking the records. So the member of staff would come to so this is a test student. The member of staff's having a meeting with the student and they're saying, well, what do you want to do next year? And oh, you've got these strengths, you maybe need to work on this and they come to a conclusion together. And ID is internal destination. So you're going to progress with a full-time course within the same area, in which case you would meant to make them an offer because you can go straight to the offer stage.
Mhm.
Are you progressing with a full-time course within the current area? and where an interview would be needed, which would be if they were 19 plus, possibly including a 19 plus continua. And I suppose that might depend on how confident you are if you think an interview is needed, because maybe then the students still seem a bit unsure, perhaps. And then
So
you've got
this
a full-time
just
course.
so this just an internal option drop down.
These are the
And
internal options, yeah,
so it's just
that were set up. But
yeah,
these can be customized to whatever
yes.
you want. So a full-time course in a new area when interview would be needed, an internship, supported internship, continue at year one to year two of a two-year program, progressing onto HE, interview would be needed. An external HE, because this is capturing destination and progression here. So
Mhm,
it's looking about, so some of these you'd be putting a course code in, other ones you wouldn't, like if it's
mhm,
external. Then you've got
mhm,
progressing onto apprenticeships. That's internal, where they've got a confirmed place
mhm,
on with an employer, and that's progressing apprenticeship where they're seeking a place.
mhm,
And then you've got the external options the same, progressing part-time and then unable to progress, careers interview needed, unsure of next steps. And then you've got some other options, other FE, full-time external, gap year. So these kind of map to the official ESFA destination descriptions as well to some extent, because they will
yeah.
set the, so they pick the
But
next step.
obviously,
So
obviously they did like in the ESFE, there's no more collecting that. It's no more part of the ILR date set. But it's still something very critical for every college to collect, isn't it? The ESFEs don't want it anymore, but it's still required as an for Ofsted and
yeah,
for
sorry, they
just
don't actually.
yeah, they don't collect from 24 to 25. But it's just I don't see why they don't. It's very important to have this data storage. So it looks like every college is still collecting it as expected because you just need to collect your destination for your learners. It's important. That's
It's
part of
important to
why we're here.
collect. I mean, Ofsted wouldn't, if you
Yeah,
said to Ofsted, well, the SFA don't need it, so we just
I
we don't
know.
bother anymore. I don't think they'd
Yeah,
be
I
too
know.
happy.
No. Oh, hopefully
So
they know. Yeah, yeah, yep.
so yeah, so the first section, so you would just put the what the next steps are for the student. You type in your tutor comments, because this would be the tutor completing this part.
Mm-hmm,
And then I also added a checkbox here to say student details are accurate. And then
mm-hmm,
they tick the box to say that they have updated any details um, for the student. And then intended course for new academic year. So then you can do I've made this a searchable drop down. So if you wanted to do to give me a subject, construction, I don't know,
yeah,
geography.
geography.
Don't know if it also spelled it wrong.
So would that drop down also be linked to the internal database, the internal system? Is that linked?
Yeah, I think you picked something that they don't do. So
Oh yeah,
so if I put in construction,
yes.
then you've got the options here. These are all the construction courses. So um, you can then pick the course. So the more you type, the more it narrows it down. And you could put
Yes.
if it's different colleges, you can put the college in there. And so you find the course, you pick the course, put the course in. That then puts that into there. And then when the tutors finish their section, they press tutor section completed, and that grays out the section above. So that locks it. So the tutor can't then edit it. So they've made their decision and they've put it into there. So I've come off that. I'll just put something else in, right? They've put in their decision into there, and then they've picked tutor section completed. And then it goes to the course leader, where the course leader, I mean, this is optional. You might just want to go straight to, if the tutor's put it in, that's it, good to go. Or you might want it so the course leader can unlock the tutor section to override it. Because if the tutor section says this person, I don't want this person back, then potentially the course leader could say, no, look here, you're going to have to support this person. We can get them through onto a level 3. I'll support you with it. Let's progress them. And then the course leader could possibly override that choice. And then you've got the option. So then the course leader, once they've approved the whatever they've chosen, they would press this. That would unlock it for their course leader. So we could then
Okay.
push through to admissions, and then admissions can put their comment in. But then, so this was originally written before a script was written to put the data into Pro Solutions. So actually, this stuff here, it's more about them just putting any notes on here. Maybe like if they're saying there was a discussion, the students has since moved to something else,
Mhm.
and then they can also put the approved in. But again, this was this was more like giving options really, making it flexible to show this is kind of what we could do, and we're kind of having meetings at the moment to sort of work on the screen a bit more. So this isn't the finished product exactly. This is kind of work in progress. So this is where it's up to. So the what happens next is when this is filled in and completed, the information is used from this screen to so there's a background script that runs and it creates an application in Pro Solution,
Okay.
and it also creates a destination, an intended destination record in Pro Solution
Okay.
for the student to say that so what but the because last year we didn't lock it down, so I let it do inserts and updates. So if the staff came on the record and made a change, it would then update it in Pro Solution, or it would close off the previous application and create a second application. But
Okay.
on discussion with the teams, decided that that was a bit confusing, and it's better if the initial capture is done here. We lock it down, and then any changes are handled in Pro Solution because the admissions teams are used to working in Pro Solution to make those changes.
Changes.
And we don't want them having to use ProMonitor for the progressors and then Pro Solution for the non-progressors because having to do two systems is confusing for them. So I mean, yeah,
Mm.
because better if they can just kind of focus on the system they're used to, like the
Mm.
staff using ProMonitor because the curriculum staff used to ProMonitor, so it makes sense to capture it for them to capture it in
Yes.
ProMonitor,
Mm-hmm.
whereas the admission staff are not used to ProMonitor. They're used to Pro Solution admin Windows client, if there's a Pro Solution college, obviously. So better if they handle, so if the insert is pushed in, but they handle the work from then to handle the interviews and everything, and it doesn't change because of changes here. So locking it down seemed a better approach.
Mm.
So it goes into Pro Solution as an application, and then the advantage of it being in Pro Solution already as an application is they can just kind of confirm it, and then it converts it to an enrollment.
Okay.
So they would kind of because this would progress on to the interview if an interview was needed. But if it's some of these ones say make offer, and if it's a make offer option, you skip the interview process. So this also sets the application stage that it's at. So because the one of the important things that the colleges do is they look at the staging reports as well. Look at how many students have we got sitting awaiting interview, how many students
Yes.
have we got sitting awaiting offer, how many
Mm.
have we made an offer to? So that this particular person, if they're progressing on a full-time course in the same area, the staff, the tutor making the comment knows this person. They've decided in their capacity as the tutor, in their professional capacity, this
Mm.
person should carry on to the next level. I'm happy with
Mm.
that. That's good enough. And they don't need to go through the whole interview. And so it kind of means that we aren't asking the students to come in and enroll like we've never seen them before.
Mm.
We're just saying to them, I mean, some places I know get students in as a keeping warm exercise, so they don't forget where the college is when it comes September comes around, and
Mm.
get maybe a new ID badge and that kind of thing. But I suppose the thing is they've got a lot of information here that we need, so we don't need to get them to do an interview again, and we can straight away make the student push through to the staging reports that capture how many students we've got in, and then we can look at the total applicant count, which would be obviously the new starts which haven't gone via this process, and then the progressors and continuers that have. So you can get an overall picture of these are the numbers of students we're currently expecting to have in September, and
Mm.
get estimates on to how much funding you're going to bring in, and compare it to allocation, and
Mm.
then look at what you need to do in terms of marketing if there's areas that are sort of below expectation
Asian.
on
Yeah.
on the numbers and that kind of. So it all feeds into the whole kind of cycle really.
Mm.
And I think if this is done well, it can be a good help, and it can be a big time saving task
Mm.
as well, because
Yeah.
the a lot of the data is getting pushed in
Within.
automatically.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
And I mean,
Also.
this is obviously I'm talking Pro Solution, but this could apply to EBS. So basically, the script I've written here is Pro Solution, but
Yeah.
a script could be written just the same for
Same.
EBS, for Unity, for other
That's
systems.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So all these the different sections are permission based, isn't it? So it's only the tutor that can do the tutor comments, and it's only the next level, the section, the tutor, the course
There was a
leader.
course leader, yeah.
And
Well, I mean,
I don't, those are they permission based? That means the someone that is not a course leader would not be able to approve that section. Is that how it works?
not exactly. Actually, I should explain as well how I've done this because the in ProMonitor you can customize the pages to a certain
Yes.
extent. So
Yeah.
you can create custom labels,
Mm-hmm.
and you can make fields appear or not appear.
Okay.
But what I've done is I've created some JavaScript code, which is sort of client side script. And what that does is so I haven't modified any of the ProMonitor master kind of their kind of pages as they are. What I've done is I've created my own sort of script, and all I do is I modify the master template ProMonitor to add in a reference to the script. So
Mm.
if IT do an upgrade of the system, the only thing that needs to be put back in again is the link to the script. So what the script does is it moves that checkbox field from the bottom of the screen to the higher up the screen. It
Mm-hmm.
adds checks on the data. So if you try and complete the tutor section, you haven't ticked that box, for example, it should give a message at the on it, which is
Okay.
kind of behind
Yeah,
here. It says,
please
please add your
add your
tutor comments before submitting the progression. So you add your
okay.
tutor comments, and then you try and do it again. And then it says, please ensure you've submitted corrections and amendments to the student next to kid information on here.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of got a lot of validation in there to
Validation. Yeah.
check that you've done the different bits. So so the ProMonitor page is still the ProMonitor page. The
Okay.
script just enhances it by so how it checks what the user is. I mean, for example, for me, because I'm an admin, I can undisable the sections by pressing the button again. But what I'm doing is because this isn't built-in functionality, I'm saying if the username at the top of the page, sorry, the top right, this one, not this one,
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah.
user that's logged into ProMonitor, if
Mm-hmm.
that is Robin Space Wilson, I'm saying make this admin, as in make this account able. So don't disable
Yeah.
the button, so you can
Yeah.
re-enable the bit above.
Mm-hmm.
And then so anybody can do the tutor section, but then once the tutor section has been completed and is disabled, then the course leaders can do this, but they can't. The tutor section is completed, so but if the course leader wants to change it, they could. But at the moment, this isn't locked down actually in any way.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm trying to do a minimal amount of sort of customizing.
Yeah.
Because if IT upgrade for Monitor, it'll just kind of not include my script that just modifies the screen layout,
Mm-hmm.
meaning that it'll revert to the default. But the only thing
Mm.
that'll happen with that is that that checkbox moves to the bottom, the drop down is no longer a searchable drop down, and the validation and the buttons would disappear.
Mm.
So it won't break the system in any way. And the changes that are made, it's all client side changes. So the JavaScript file modifies the page on the web browser, but the page is actually still as it was underneath. I'm kind
Mm.
of just modifying it as it loads to the user. I haven't changed any of advanced pages, so it wouldn't
Mm.
be an issue with support because I haven't actually. So if you took that file away, everything is out of the box. If you
Mm.
include the file with the customizations on, then it customizes it. But
Mm.
I'm not actually, going into the after my course.espx and modifying their code.
Mm.
That page is as it is out of the
As
box
it is.
in that
Yeah.
version.
Mm.
So it's a safe way to enhance what's there already. And
Already.
I
Yeah.
suppose the advantage of using this is apart from it being the system people are used to using and the sort of the same interface to the rest of the ProMonitor pages, it means you haven't got to ask your systems developers to maybe
Uh,
create an entire
yeah.
system for capturing progression and
Mm.
destination, then supporting that on an ongoing basis because
Mm.
this is actually using ProMonitor functionality
Mm.
99%, I would say. It's just a little
Yeah.
bit an
Yeah.
enhancement on top of that, really.
Does it have a audit trail as well, so you can know
Yes, there's
who
also
who
audit
clicked?
trail.
Okay.
So if you go to the bottom, click audit trail, you'll see all my many
Oh
changes
yes.
back and forth with this. Actually, maybe I haven't with this person. No, I haven't actually because I haven't done. I was using a
Okay.
different record, which was a proper student, but
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I was going to clear it out before we launched this. But
Yeah.
yeah,
No.
this is. But yeah, so every change you make, it's
It's
going to capture. the it's going to capture it in the audit trail. So if I just
Mm.
put a comment in and I
Yeah.
tick the box and I say
Mm.
tutor section completed,
Yeah.
and then that's now see grayed out. I can't edit that. I can't
Oh
edit
yeah.
that,
Oh
and I
yeah.
can't edit that. But
So
then because
what
I
if okay, what is a mistake? Like would so like I said, they cannot go back and edit it again if they
oh, I can
mistakenly,
make a mistake.
yeah.
I mean, what we could do is, so if I'm an admin, I see that button there. That's not disabled. Where if you're a tutor, that's disabled. But perhaps we
Okay.
could make it so the course leaders could audit. So that's now re-enabled it again. You see.
Yeah.
So I could then say, oh, actually, I didn't want to say that. I wanted to say that instead. Um, I just took some random text in. So then you press it again, and it re-disables that section, that top section.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, so the sorry for as well for the people who can't see the screen, we've got my planned next steps are, and that's where you do the menu choice of drop down options, the tutor comments, and then the student details being accurate is a checkbox,
Mm-hmm.
and then the intended course for new academic year underneath that, and then the button to complete. So this button completes. It disables the boxes above it, and it also saves the data. But you'll
Mm.
see at the bottom of the screen, there's usually be a big save button at the bottom, but I've hidden the save button and
Okay.
I've made these trigger the save
Say
button. And
buttons.
how it works is there's another field which is also hidden. And when I press the section complete button, it sets that other field to a Y, meaning that that button has been pressed. So
Mm.
that's what I use to disable the section and re-enable the section.
Okay.
And so if I just do that again, and then the course leader can put their feedback in, which they can't do until the tutor section's been completed,
Completed.
and then they can press that completed, and then that will grey out the course leader section then, so they can't edit that. But
Mm.
then if you've got the right permissions, you can then, but I'm saying the permissions are quite rudimentary because I'm just saying if the username is this, or this. But
Yes,
you could
then
potentially put your list of faculty
pattern.
directors or heads of department in that string of users to do that. And
Yes.
then
So
admissions comments, put the admissions comments in, and then underneath that, and then tick admissions comments completed, press that button, admissions approved. And then in
mm.
the audit trail, we should see all of that stuff I was doing.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so here you've got, so record created. So hang on, which way around to go? It goes bottom to the top, yeah.
yeah.
Record updated. So information 4 changed from yes to no. So that's
Okay.
where I'm holding that. Has the button been pressed or not? Change the text from that to that, and then
Okay.
change the information 4 from no to yes, and then information 4 change toggle backwards and forwards again. Then information 5, which was the admissions. Sorry, that
Mm.
was the course leader approved. That's changed from
Yes.
yes to no, and then lastly information 6, which is the admissions approved one. So information 1 is the text for the tutor.
Mm.
Information 2 is a text for the course leader. Information 3 is a text for admissions. And then 4, 5, and 6 are the hidden fields that do the yes, that track the yes and no to disable the fields above.
Mm. Yeah.
So that's how I'm doing it. And then there's a script which runs every night that looks at the database table in ProMonitor where this information is stored,
Mm.
and it uses the basically on the top drop down, you've got the drop down of planned next steps, and they have a code beside them. So what I'm doing is saying if the code is 1, 2, 3, or 4, then do this, otherwise do that. So I've got rules in the code that so this top one, because it says make offer, that would create an application and it would
Mm.
create an offer. It would say it would set the status to be offer, and then it would say offer to student made.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if an interview is needed, it would put it at the stage of interview required.
Yeah. Okay.
So depending what option they've picked, it sort of creates that record slightly differently. And happy to
Mm.
share the script I've created to anybody who would like a copy. Obviously, you'll have to customize it to your,
Yeah.
well, MI system. But if you've got Pro Solution, then we just need to change the rules around when you wanted to do an interview and when you wanted to put it
Mm.
into an offer made section stage.
Yeah, that sounds brilliant. Thank you very much. That really, you like you said, is also quite useful for other system users that are not pro solution because they can use some part of it, which is the main part of just recording the destination progression and with the audio trailer as well. So that's still very, very important, and
Yeah,
very
your job
useful.
handy.
Yeah, very useful for even other non-pro system users.
Actually,
So
just to add as well, I suppose there's actually you haven't got to obviously use a script to insert this into your EBS Unity Pro Solution system because once you've captured the data is
yeah,
there to
yeah,
report
so
on. But it means you
exactly.
can because you've got that power. Because once you've got the data's there to
Yeah,
be manipulated and used as automated processes. But you could also just create a report for admissions, and then I suppose they could
yeah, see.
process that.
Yeah, that's the thing. The once the data is collected and stored, that is the main thing. You can now pick it up and do a lot from it. So yeah, that's brilliant. Awesome. Thank you very much. So I believe that has been very useful for everybody, both pro monitor users and well, pro solution users or other systems like EBS and Unity. It's a really good way to collect destination and progression for all learners. Like we expect most places after the February half term is a good time to start really collecting that data, as well as the fact that your curriculum planning is already really in flow. So you want to know how many learners are coming back, how many learners are applying as well. So it's important for those numbers to be really collected in time for proper, effective planning, and which obviously affect the amount of money, the funding, and the cost need to be looked into for the following academic year. So that is really a very useful tool and very easy, like Robin said, quite easy to once if you have ProMonitor, then this is just a great way to further use what already existed, maximizing it for the whole college purposes for destination and progression. So thank you very much, Rob, once again. So we're going to end today's episode with that. It's again, we hope that's been very informative for everybody this week once again with such a wonderful skills and experience from Robin Wilson. So thank you very much. That's really very great. Thanks for joining us once again. And
Thank you, Ben.
yeah, thank you. So see again, like I always say, follow, subscribe on your podcast platform so you can know when once an update is made on your on the College MI's Matters podcast. All right, Charles, thank you. Take care. Bye now.
Bye.